welcome back, and now as you can see here we are on a programming app or source code editor, and the one I'm choosing to use is Visual Studio Code. And in here we have a HTML file that we want to look at. Now what I need to understand before we continue is that in programming there's what we call elements and there's what we call tags. Now if you can see here we have a doc type HTML. That word or that writing that you see there is called an element. Now these arrows by the side of it, or bracket, whatever I want to call it, those are called tags. Now in programming, the computer needs these two things. They need these two things created exactly as you can see them for it to understand that that is a code and that is what I should do. If not, it will not understand it. So as you can see here, what we have is the HTML element, and this is what is used to start a HTML file, followed by the head element. This is what we use as the head of it. Then we have the title element, your link element. This is used to link several files, and your body element. Now another thing you should know is that once you open a tag, you have to close it, otherwise the computer will not know what to do. So how do we close it? We close it by doing the same thing. As you can see here, we have title. If you want to close it, you write the same title, but this time with a backslash. So basically you have to add the backslash there so that the computer knows that okay, this is an element and it is closed in a tag there. Now we're going to focus on what we have here, and these are writings. Over here we have hello world, and I'm probably wondering saying H1 to H6, and what is this? So basically these are just heading elements, and what it does is that it magnifies whatever is written inside the element. So from here you can see H1 to H6, and when we run it on live server, you're going to see hello world, hello world, hello world, and order. So basically this is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6, and here you can see them. So basically that just what it does. H1 is bigger, H2 is big but not as big as H1, H3 big but not as big as H2 and H1. So there you have it. But this is not just all, we also have more, such as button. Now let's just put something like word or world, okay. And so once you save it and we run it on our live server, you see the button there, world. Also, it doesn't do anything because I'm not yet giving a command, but there you can see it, world. We also have the paragraph element. Let's just type view. And as you can see, there it is. This is just basically used to identify that okay, that's the beginning of a paragraph. It works hand in hand with your H1 element, whatever. So that is it. There are many more that we have, but I don't want to be getting to that. So now you can see all these things here, but let's say I want to change one of them. Let's say I just want to change the color or change the font size. So just change something about it because I don't like how bland it looks. What do I use? That is where CSS comes in. Now to run my CSS, what I'm going to do is come over to head, and now I'm going to run. I open a tag and I type style. So basically I'm using the style element to run my CSS. If you are coding internally, that is what you use. Along the line, I'll also teach you the difference between internal and external coding. But for now, I'm going to be using internal coding as an example. So basically, if I want to run my CSS, I use the style element, and I'm going to go here. Okay, let's say I want real. I want to change the color of that this paragraph here, real. What do I do? I'm going to bring, let's type real, which means that's P. Then I'm going to give it a brace. Now inside that brace, I'm going to type, let's say, color, and I'm going to change it to, let's say, purple. I save, Control S, and when I go to my Chrome and I reload it, okay, there you can see real is now purple, and that is basically what CSS does. Okay, let's say I don't like how it is. I want it to be bigger. It's too tiny. Then I use font size, and let's see, 30 pixels. When I will come to that later. I go here, and now you see it's big. So that's basically what CSS does. It manipulates whatever and whatever you want it to do. Anything you want, it could be from text, it could even be the background, anything at all you want your website to look like, you use CSS to do it. But I want to manipulate it again, except I don't want to use CSS. Let's say I want to use another word. Now this is where a language comes up, and it's called JavaScript. Now we're just going to run a very simple code here. I'm going to come down. Now if you want to run JavaScript internally, like I said, we are going to be using the script tag or element, sorry, script element. Now JavaScript works different from CSS, although it works the same, but it also works different. Now we cannot just like how we did in CSS, where we wrote P, as we carried the P element, we wrote P and manipulated those things. We cannot do the same thing in JavaScript. The computer will not understand. Rather, what we do is that we're going to give it an ID. So now let's say we want to change hello world. We want to give hello world an ID. Let's say ID, what are we going to call it? Letter. Now I've called it letter. So now I'm going to go to our script tag. Now we need to bring that ID and put it in our JavaScript. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to first of all declare it. Now in JavaScript is all about declaring variables and whatnot. So I'm going to use, let's say I'm going to use const letter equals document dot okay, let's say document dot get elements by ID. Then we're going to bring the name that we want to call it, and I want to call it letter. So now we have gotten that on the way. Now basically what I've done here is that we've gotten the ID of that hello world. We give it an ID, like a tag, and then we now use that tag to recall it in our JavaScript. So now I'm going to go here and I'm going to say letter dot style dot color equals, I made a mistake there, close. Now I'm going to say red. I want to go back. The tag turns red. Simple. So basically, what I just showed you guys is programming. This is the most basic of knowledge about programming. Basically, what I just showed you that HTML is the hypertext markup language. That's where you use to write your text. Whatever you want to show your website, whatever text you want to write, you use HTML to write it. CSS is used for the designing of the website, the background, everything. And JavaScript is used for interactions. Later on in my course of my channel, I'll be showing you guys what these things actually mean, because there's more to HTML than just what I did, and also CSS and JavaScript. But for now, this is what I'll show you guys. Hopefully in the next time I'm going to be talking more about these channels, more about these languages. So till next time, bye.